did you ever have to make a decision to someone that you were close, like related to, or kind of knew well?
Nothing serious. We de-escalate a lot of situations. We're able to talk people down. And I think that's one of the gifts that I have. I'm able to come in and treat you with respect. You know, look you in your eyes, have a conversation, sympathize with you, understand that you may not be directly mad at me. You're mad at the situation you're going through, and though you're loud and you may be moving your hands, it's not necessarily a threat towards me. So the fact that I've been doing this for a while in the human service field, and I enjoy being around people, makes my job a lot easier. So we have situations where we have guys in the cell and ladies in the cell who are screaming, banging, and swearing and call you all kind of names, this, that, and the third. But I understand where they're coming from. I understand what they're going through, not 100%, but I have an idea of why they're acting the way they're acting. And again, a good amount of the time is not necessarily directed towards me. It's because of the situation they're in. So I love to talk to people. I love to de-escalate. And you know, we don't have too many situations where I have to go hands or anything like that.
Would you say you found your purpose?
That's a great question.
Or you still think you're like in a soul searching or searching for?
Not necessarily soul searching, but I just feel like every year, every time I turn around I'm starting to really get it. I'm really getting in tune. Like I know myself now.
Right.
I'm honest with myself. I done looked in the mirror and I had tough conversations with myself.
Those are the hardest ones to have.
Those are the hardest ones to have because, again, the loudest voice is that voice that you have in your head. People can call you whatever they're going to call you. They can praise you. They can say whatever they want to say. But it's that voice in your head, you know? I remember when I was younger and in my 20s, right? And I was running around having fun, spending money the wrong way, hooking up with girls, doing different things like that. And I have friends around me that, you know, they were saying, what's up? Like it was all positive vibes and everything was good. But I knew deep down inside I was searching for more. You know what I mean? So even though I was getting that positive energy from everybody, I knew deep down inside that wasn't it. And then I found myself in other situations where I was at low points. I'm stressed. I'm low key stressed. I might be smiling and everything, but I'm anxious. I'm going through things. I know my purpose is bigger than what I was doing, and that voice in my head is like, nah. What are you doing? You're a bum. You should be further along in your life. You should be doing more. Like I have high expectations. And that voice was like, okay, that was the one that got me to wake up and start making the right adjustments, surrounding myself with like-minded people with the business aspect. And and now I find myself in a great place. I'm happy, I'm whole. I have a wife now, I'm married, my kids are doing well, my son's playing basketball, nice. My daughter's doing her thing. You know what I mean, my stepkid, everybody's just in a great space and it feels good.
Word. Love that for you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
What was your friend group like?
My friend group?
Yeah.
I had good friends. I had great friends. I'm still in contact with my friends that I grew up with. You know, attending the Boys and Girls Club, sleeping over their house, going to parties and things like that. We don't hang out as much anymore because, again, now we're grown, right? We have kids, we have jobs, we have responsibilities. But we keep in contact. We have, you know, a group chat that we're on, and we also, you know, we hit each other up, send some jokes, reminisce a little bit. Just recently, we also went out to eat and hung out. So, again, I was fortunate to surround myself with some good people at a young age. You know, we had a couple that took the wrong turn and are not here with us or locked up. But for the most part, we had a solid crew. You know? Okay. Got a solid crew. We
got a solid crew still. How did you combine your career with doing work in the community? And how were you able to balance that out?
So the way I balance the career and my work in the community is trying to bring everybody to the table. Again, like I said before, I'm around some powerful people. I'm around some compassionate people who are also very knowledgeable. I'm around attorneys. I'm around judges. I hear the conversations. I see what's going on with different laws and things that are being passed. And I feel the best way to try to come to a resolution or some sort of middle ground is to bring everybody to the table and have a discussion and have the attorneys come speak to the kids and tell them about the different laws that are out there and, you know, what they should look out for. And I feel it's making a great impact right now. And it's not just a scared straight moment when I have these kids come to the courthouse and visit. I show them the different jobs that are within the building. Because part of it is, you know, a lot of us, we complain about things that are going on, which is rightfully so. But instead of complaining, I'm like, let's do something about it.
Right.
You know, if we want to change laws, then let's get in there. Let's get in there and do the job.
You know, the people to head towards that.
Right. You know what I mean? So like, let's steer our youth to now work for the system so they can, you know, they can make some changes, make a difference, and also, again, represent the people that they know, that they grew up with. So,
What's your favorite part about the work you do?
just being around people. Just being able to have day-to-day conversations. I'm not stuck behind a computer. I'm not, you know, outside in the heat digging and, you know, doing manual labor. I'm inside of a building.
With the AC on.
With the AC on in the summertime, with the heat on in the wintertime. I have benefits. I have much time to take off, vacations and sick time and, you know, the retirement funds and things like that. And then, you know, again, being around some people where I can build relationships and really bring some resources back to our community.
Do you reflect back on times before you were where you're at now and kind of use that to kind of push you to keep going?
Yeah, because growing up in the hood, like we didn't want to be law enforcement. You don't want to do anything, you know what I mean, with the cops, their ops, their pigs. Those are all the names that we heard, you know, growing up. And I realize now that I work for the court system, like not everybody in there is bad. Like there's some real genuine judges out there that I've brought into the community, and they've sat with kids and they had conversations. They made contributions to the nonprofit. They give me different tips and tools on, you know, who to connect with to bring the program up and things like that. So I just love talking to people, networking with them, and seeing what we can do to build and bring back to our community.
You have any regrets?
I should have started a little earlier. I should have been on this path a little earlier as far as walking in my purpose, like serving and helping others. I always had it in me, but again, I was just making poor decisions, trying to fit in with the crowd, trying to do what everybody else was doing. Again, one of the main things I was bad at was money management. I was poor with money. I get it and spend it just as quick as I got it. And then you turn around, you go back home at the end of the night and you're like, the money's gone. You know, what I just spend it on. You know, before you went out, you done went and bought an outfit. And before you got there, you went and got a bottle. You got right before you got to the club. Now you pay the entry fee. You get in the club, you're spending more money in there, impressing everybody.
Home, you're already $1,000, couple grand deep.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And then after that, you gotta go get something to eat. And you try and holler at Shorty over there. We go get something to eat, see if we can go back and hotel, whatever you was doing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It'd be a long night.
It'd be a long night. So, yeah, I look back at that and it was like a lot of wasted time. But who knows? It's like maybe I did that for a reason to get me in the space that I'm in now. So.
When would you say your poor decision making kind of stopped and you started making the right decisions?
It wasn't too long ago. I'm 42 now. It was probably like early 30s. Early 30s.
Did you already have your kids?
I have my kids already. Okay. for a while it was a struggle because I had, split up with the parents and, get the kids on certain days and you're spending time with them and you got to bring them back. And, I mean? It's a gap and you're constantly doubting yourself and you're feeling a certain way and you're upset, you're mad at your situation and you're continuously doing the same thing. The vicious cycle, spending money, hanging out, wasting time. I want to say it clicked in my early 30s. I remember one night specifically, and I told my kids this, like, I had my daughter on one side, I had my son on the other side, and I'm laying in bed with them as a grown man, right, in my 30s. And at the time, we were staying with my sister, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, you're a grown man, and you live with your sister, you got your kids with you in one bed. They growing up, you don't want them to live like this. You should be providing for them. You should be, you should be further along in your life, like in your finances, in your career, like what. So it was an eye-opening experience, and I feel like that was one of the turning moments for me. It was like, I got to get my stuff together. And then that's when I started really doing the groundwork with identifying who I was, what I wanted to do, and then now focusing on, getting to where I'm at now.
So you didn't really have too much conflict with yourself or any self-conflict when you were pursuing your career, kind of thinking of, I don't know, maybe your friends, your siblings, or however they would feel about it. Like that wasn't in your head. You was just like, This is what I'm gonna do regardless of how they feel, and you just went for it?
So, growing up, I worked at the Boys and Girls Club. Then I worked Great Brook Valley, an after-school program there. I worked for U Inc. for 10 years where I was a supervisor. What else did I do? I also worked at a school, Central Mass Academy. And while I was there, a cousin of mine reached out and said, hey, today's the last day to become a court officer. And to be honest with you, I had no idea what a court officer was. And he sent me the link. I filled it out, whatever, boom. And then from there, I got an interview, I got the call, I got a job, and now they offer me to join and go into the academy. So that wasn't the path to be a court officer and work for the law. Again, like I told you, growing up, we didn't rock with the police. Right. We didn't talk to them. Because that was the message. That was what we saw on TV. Right. That was what everybody was saying. That was in our music. So it just happened. It just happened that way. To be honest with you, besides being an NBA player, I wanted to be a guidance counselor. So when I was working in the high school, and again, when he told me about the job, now I'm a court officer, and that's another form of being a guidance counselor. 90% of the people that are coming into the courthouse are dealing with some sort of issue, so they're not happy, and I can counsel them whether they know it or not. Right. I'm still, working
putting your
with
practice
them.
Into the guidance counselor practice.
So I'm interacting with people, I'm helping them out, and that's a form of guidance counseling. And then I'm like, it doesn't just stop here now. You have a career now. Don't just stop here. From there we again building up the nonprofit, 5-Way Forever Young, and we're also trying to be assistant chief where I'm at now. And then next will be the chief, and so
still setting goals to keep.
Yeah,
elevating.
We have to keep setting goals.
So it seems like growing up, did you have that role model, that influence in your ear to tell you to keep going and, or were you that for yourself?
Yeah, it was others around me. I had both parents, so I was fortunate. My mother, strong woman, held down the house, working several jobs, providing for us, making sure we had a little money in our pocket, going back and forth to the Boys and Girls Club, taking us different places. My father, the same thing. He worked, he would also provide for the family, give us that discipline that we needed, pull your pants up, get back home. And, so we had that. We had the support. They were always, a positive influence and positive example in my life, hardworking people. And then I had my uncles, I had my siblings, I had cousins and others too, so.
Any drug use growing up at all?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we smoked, we drank, yeah. Yep, we party. Again, I told you there was a bad
Right.
phase where we was just
It's part of the
running
phase.
around. Yeah, just spending money, just hooking up with girls and, ripping and running. And that's part of, I still remember that stuff. And I make sure now that's not even an option.
Right.
You're a married man. You have kids. You have a daughter who you want to be raised up the right way. And now she has a boyfriend. So, you want to make sure that, you're setting the right example and you're there for them.
No, for sure.